So I was staying by some friends in rural Washington, just outside of the Spokane region, and it's all forested there. But I decided to take a trip over to the Olympic National Park. And so I'm heading out from their area, which is already very forested. And our first stop was the Spokane Ferry. And these ferries are a great way to move east and west if you're in the Washington kind of Seattle area. And the ferry itself is a very interesting experience. When you're up on the top of the deck, you get some amazing views. The wind is really hitting you. This was in late fall, getting close to winter, so it was pretty cold. The wind definitely whipping you. You can park your car on the ferry, or you can take a bike, or you can just walk on and off the ferry. We were driving, so we parked on the ferry, and there is a small fee to enter, and sometimes there can be lines. Our first stop was Port Angeles. This is kind of a gateway to the national park. And here we are actually in the national park. And Olympic National Park is incredible. It has the Hoh rainforest. We didn't go, but all of it felt very rainforesty, especially to me. I've been living in Utah and California, so this felt very, very different. And the trees here are all kind of pines, but the huge trees and how wet it was reminded me of the redwood, the redwood forest in Northern California, but this is much, much wetter than that. And there is a good bit of incline as we're moving around here, but eventually you start to see where the forest kind of gives way. If you look here in the background, you can't see more forest because that's coast in the background. So as we kept going, I could hear the water just behind the trees, and it was amazing. It was kind of like the sky was opening up the closer I walked towards the coast. And here we are, walking out to what they call Second Beach. There's a first beach, a second beach, and a third beach. In my opinion, the second beach is the most scenic. There are a lot of these sort of giant little eroded islands, or if you want to call them giant rock outcrops that you'll see here. It's reminiscent a bit of Morro Bay in Central California. This one here, I actually tried to climb. One member of our company actually did climb up to the top there. I was going to do it, but it was a little bit wet, and I didn't want to slip and fall because I thought I could get up, but getting down would be a little bit tricky. So you see, I only went up half the way, but that's cool. That's good enough for me. There's also tons of down trees here. The storms have ripped these things up, and they just kind of wash up on shore. No, it's a really striking feature. And actually, on this beach, it's this pebble beach. It looks kind of like a Blackstone beach, but it's a pebble beach, so the sand isn't that fine. And it's just an incredible contrast of having the forest behind you and this huge pebble beach in front of you. And we actually got hailed on. It's hailing on us, getting hailed on the beach. An incredible experience. Here we are at Rialto Beach. It's the second beach we visited. It's not as majestic as Second Beach, but very much so worth visiting. If you're ever in the area, Olympic National Park, incredible, definitely worth a visit.